13 qualifiers. We got a Group B match coming at you right now with Too Much Sugar up 1-0 in this best of two, and well, looks like we already got some junglers on the board here, Riser. How you feeling about this draft? How you feeling about this match?
Pick Dampier, pick Dampier, take Dampier, pick Dampier, pick Dampier, pick Dampier, pick Dampier.
Back to you, Riser.
There we go!
There you go.
Woo!
Not bad.
I like it. When they picked Ophelia, you should just instantly pick Dampier. There should be no hesitation. That's the best hero in the game if you get 3 points. No question. Engineer doesn't even come close, so... yeah, draft so far. Scout, Tempest, Warbeast, Hag... Scout, Warbeast, pretty much Kazu heroes. Tempest, Hag, I don't know, just good heroes. Hag seems to be really... I think Lions brought Hag back, man. People were going crazy about the Ravenor.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think I already said this, but don't get me wrong, Super KG owns with Ravenor. But honestly, the thing people miss is they picked Hag every single game, and Hag owned every single game. That's the Lions hero. It's Hag. It's not Ravenor. But
it is.
Anyway, they do have the MOA Ophelia combo, which is nice. Especially you can stay. Well, Dampier will kill you before you can even react, so maybe not. But yeah, I like TKAG's draft right now. They really should not pick another jungler. They should just pick another support. Free-farm Dampier. And make sure they have another support to contest the tri-lane. That tmsR should not win. They should just absolutely fuck Ophelia if he comes to his jungle, and then your Dampier suddenly has 8 million GPM. So I'm kind of harping on the Dampier, but tmsR with one more pick here for the next phase. A lot of options. I kind of want to see Kraken maybe, but no Kraken. They pick a Luna. Interesting. So that's probably going to be their support. Kind of leave Master of Arms. This is a very versatile hero, so he can go into a lot of roles. And I think tmsR is like, oh shit, they have Dampier and we have Ophelia. We have to do something about this because if he free farms, we're going to lose. And I don't know. You can't really solo Ophelia in a lane and then do an aggressive tri-lane. It doesn't work out. I mean, I believe it was TKAG play a scrim, and they actually ended up soloing Tempest after they picked it because the other team had Dampier. Like, well, we should probably go aggressive, but I don't know if Ophelia works out like that. So low stone rally, prisoner Devo, a lot of melee stunners are being quickly removed. Sandwraith, I don't know about Sandwraith ban. I don't think it's ideal, but anyway.
I mean, he loves that.
No, yeah, you're right. It's just that I like when you have Sandwraith. I really like 2-2-1. I don't like having a jungler. Because usually when you have a jungler, you solo short, right? And Sandwraith sucks at solo short by himself. You want to pretty much babysit him. He's like one of the popular heroes nowadays that really just cannot solo for crap. Unless he's like pooled region against like a Bubbles or something. He's going to have a rough time. So Fade picked up, it's going to be their melee stunner for TKAG. Let's see, I don't know, tmsR. Are they going to go aggressive? I don't know. We'll see. I think they need Kazu's hero here probably. In terms of what's left, there's Pharaoh. What else can they pick up here? What else does KZ play? He plays like 2 heroes. I think they're all banned.
There's a Wild Soul.
Wild Soul. Okay.
Number 1. I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Kind of doubt it.
Takes too long. Soul Reaper. Okay. I don't like it. They're going for this really early. The pub train team. They're like probably gonna say, you know what, you can farm Dampier. We're just gonna group up and push. Yeah. And we have so many heals and stuff that he will be He'll be ineffectual by the time we take all your towers. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, I mean, that doesn't really seem like a tmsR hero. Don't see them play it too often, but I'm sure whoever is going to be on it will be very comfortable with it. And like you said, they've already got their game plan. It's going to be group up and push, hit those timings, and try to make sure that they can take down the opposing team before those big items start coming out on Dampier. And I was kind of thinking to myself here, and worst comes to worst, this strategy doesn't work out. There's always game 3, but there's not. I mean, this is a best of 2, so every game really matters here. You're not able to take a risk, and I mean, I wonder if there is a little bit different of a strategy when you're going into a best of 2 as compared to a best of 3.
Maybe. I'm trying to think of past experience. Yeah, I mean, if you're up a game, you might be a little more inclined to try something crazy in a best of 3. And in a best of 2, of course, both games are equally important. So yeah, I'd say you might play a little more serious. You might be less inclined to try something out because you have an advantage, and then you're pretty confident going into game 3 So yeah, that's there. Oh, I don't know about this nymph pick. I was thinking about the supports they could pick, and I would have preferred Pyro a lot. Ooh, Lord Salforus. So let's see here. I saw
Love it.
Kezi run, and then I've seen Kezi play it sometimes. So
Yeah.
I think fits nicely in the lineup. They kind of got these tanky healers, and he's pretty similar. He also shuts down Dampier really well with his ult, because
Yep.
Dampier cannot heal. So that is a pick out of left field, but if you think about it, it's pretty insane. So
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
it looks like they're going to give Dampier free farm and then say our team fight is better than yours, which if they hit their timings and don't get crushed early, I think it might work. We'll see. Versus, I think if the other team was SG and this lineup happened, I'd be more worried. But since it's a less experienced team, I think tmsR actually is going to be in a pretty decent spot here.
I certainly agree with you and like their lineup quite a bit. That Salforus pick, you said that you thought you'd seen Stay Green playing, and I confirm that they did have a Lord Salforus yesterday being played by Limp in the Suicide Lane. And, I mean, it's definitely a strong hero. It's one that Emperor advocated in the Suicide Lane for a very long time, and yesterday Limp went up 1v1 against a Silhouette and had a pretty good time. He actually gave up a couple kills early as a result of a roaming Parasite. But I'm really interested to see how Keizu does fare in this game. And I think that he should do all right here against the Dampier in lane.
I don't think Lord Salforus is that good. I think he's good this game, though. He's kind of like a niche hero, like for shutting down Dampier with his ult. And then, of course, just synergizing with the rest of the team, just all being tanky healers. I think he fits nicely into this game. But in terms of like every game, I don't think he offers enough in a team fight. Unless he gets really farmed. That's the only way. If he gets a really, really good start, yes, he can. But with a weak start and suicide items, he's not like a level 6 machine like a Lodestone or Bubbles or something. But anyway, I was talking about Nymph. I don't really like Nymph here because it's pretty obvious what tmsR is going to do. They're not going to split up and farm very much. They're just going to pub train. And I mean, what do you do with Nymph? You use the ultimate to gain people who are farming by themselves, but I mean, I don't think tmsR plans on doing that whole lot. By the time Nymph gets level 6, unless he just gets crazy levels, they're probably going to be grouped up and pushing. So, I kind of would like to see. I would have liked Tort, I think, is their other hero, because they have Tree, and all the damage really synergizes well with Tree's lockdown, but Tort was banned.
Yeah, it was.
So, I kind of was thinking maybe Pyro for the counter push would also be quite good. And, they have pretty good setup stuns already for Pyro to land a stun, so I kind of would have liked to see Pyro as that second support hero of this game. But they do have the Nymph, and I mean, if he levels up like his E and his Q, doesn't get too much mana, he can do some decent counter pushing, but I think it's a little less than ideal.
Yeah, definitely seems to require those levels just a little bit more and doesn't provide all that much burst potential when compared to Pyromancer. The mobility could be really nice. If they are able to hold off and stall the push from tmsR, the mobility to allow ganks once tmsR would fall back onto their back foot could certainly be very nice, as the teams they're screwing us up here, man. They're like, let's go. No, let's not go. They're having some fun. We got a schedule to keep, guys. Of course, going into the next match right after this one. I have to look on our schedule here and see what our next match of the day is. It is, in fact, Absolute Legends versus Too Much Sugar. So, the return of the AL boys. I mean, how are you feeling about Cookies and Crew coming back to New Earthriser?
Some people aren't too happy because they kind of sold Han out, but I don't. Maybe they can get third in their group. I don't see them doing a whole lot. I'd see this TKAG team doing more than that, but we'll have to see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe their Dota has been a hyperbolic time chamber. I don't know. I don't see them doing that much, and I like most of the guys on AL, but I'm not terribly confident in them qualifying for DreamHack.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, maybe make it out of the group stages, but even if they made it out in third, they would likely then be playing Lions Esports Club in their deathmatch. It's just like, yeah, that's going to be pretty difficult to best of 5. It's kind of hard for just about anybody to beat Lions. Even if you're Stay Green in a best of 5, it can be pretty difficult. But in any case, it looks like Luna and Salforus heading into the bottom jungle, and they're going to spot out Dampier, but they're quite afraid of the vampire. They do not want their blood sucked.
They are. Kezvex's items are kind of absurd. He has boots, 9 tangos, and a pot. So he got pooled a decent amount of regen.
What?
So, yeah.
Like, he's actually spent 550 of his own gold, and then was pooled 400 regen plus 2 wood, so a full 600 worth of consumables.
So he's basically 2 heroes.
He's basically 2 heroes. It's like somebody bought him a bottle. It's actually the same amount as if somebody bought him a bottle.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
That's absurd. So he should do pretty well bottom. I mean, if he doesn't do well, I feel like tmsR has invested a ton into this and could be in some trouble if they don't get what they expect.
That's true. I mean, he has boots, so the thing about boots is he can really own the support hero, man.
Oh.
Like, if he gets like his aura or his W, he can just crush them.
I will tell you right now, difficult. He will destroy this Nymphora. Just absolutely destroy this Nymphora. 1 point in the life tap, probably. No, gonna get the deck clips present. Nymphora's dead. She's actually dead right now.
Pretty close, but he'll live.
Stupid Nymphora, why don't you die?
Yeah, he doesn't have a shield though. You see how much damage he's actually taking. Usually heroes, like melee heroes, he has like 3 armor. It's not bad, but with no shield, he's actually pretty freaking squishy. And the thing is, yeah, like you said, the Nymphora cannot really do much to him. It's very difficult. You're actually gonna whiff his stun there, and it's hard to keep him out. Very difficult. So he's actually gonna get. I mean, as long as he can just sit here and pull the creeps, he's gonna do well. Level 1 Dampier really doesn't do anything. So nice job from KZ so far. He's used a lot of his regen, but honestly, getting experience is well worth it. He might actually. I think he should go buy a shield with the gold he's gotten, and he'll pretty much be almost invincible. So yeah, you can see here he comes. Nymphora just has to run away. But yeah, I think KZ's gonna have a decent time in this bottom lane.
Yeah. Especially with the life
lane
tap.
Haxorn is crushing really hard right now, but Tree has some creeps coming. I mean, he's actually gonna whiff the hatchet there, but
oh no.
Usually Soul Reaper wins this pretty hard. It's kind of like a historic matchup back in the day. We saw it a lot. Usually Soul Reaper can win this. He usually crushes almost every melee. He's kind of like Hag. And middle lane, I think MOA Luna has the edge here, but it requires like perfect positioning from Moon to not get caught out, because if he does, he's pretty dead.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be difficult. I just want to go back to that bottom lane because this is so entertaining to me. Being good friends with Emperor, like I've seen this Lord software so many times. Upgraded boots and a mana battery will allow him to double kill this lane. Like if he hits level 6 when they're level 4 and he has upgraded boots and a mana battery, like he will actually just double kill, maybe even kill 3 of them. Like it just gets pretty absurd. That is just peak efficacy for this hero, and I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that one. We do get back into this game though. And Ophelia, I mean, only one of her camps is blocked out up here, so I think Tankafet is once again going to have pretty good time in his jungle.
Yeah, with 2 supports, I feel like they should stop the jungler a lot more than they have in these last 2 games. But unfortunately, Ophelia going to get a ton of farm. He actually saved his gold to see if he had to upgrade the courier and buy wards, but I don't believe he did. So he's going to have an early Ring of the Teacher here, which will allow him to farm much faster as well. And yeah, I think when you have 2 supports, you gotta ward the jungle.
Bottom lane, Lord Salforce taking a lot of damage, but he was able to turn around and man up with the life tap. Has to use his potion.
Okay, he has 5 tangos still.
Still got the 5 Blightstones. And here's the life tap on an Nymphora, throwing a couple auto attacks here. Look at the damage. I mean, coming out of Dampier, the Zealstone is going to miss. And Lord Salforce is happy to turn around with the life tap on a Dampier. He's got more regen left than the opposing team does. And so he's in a happy position. He did pick up that shield. I'd like to see the mana battery next. They've been casting a Wilson, especially with Nymphora constantly giving out that mana. I think it's a good purchase. So we'll see.
Yeah, he doesn't really need Bottle. Usually Bottle is the go-to item, especially with the Refreshment Rune. It's really good on Suicides now, but
man.
Yeah, he doesn't really need
How about that mana battery, Riser?
Oh, there you go. Easy call.
There you go. Middle lane, power throw and a goo going to be going out. Does tick Fade down to about 50% HP, and she's out of regen. Gonna be waiting for the bottle to not even fly out. This is a walking courier, so Fade probably gonna miss out on a few last hits as a result of not having this courier upgraded. And Engineer's got the money for it, so kind of odd.
Yeah, they should be.
There it is. There's the up.
think Nymph upgraded it.
Yeah,
but
she did.
for the lane.
Yeah, more damage going on in a Fade, but in the end, it's not a ton. The kill potential out of a Luna Master of Arms is pretty minimal unless they're grossly out of position on the other side.
Yeah, nobody told me Lord South Force was this good at Suicide. I feel like it's kind of a greedy lane with Nymph Dampier. They don't do a whole lot, but honestly, he's just like winning the lane by himself. So middle lane, will he be able to finish off a Luna? Nope, he's gonna live.
Not gonna happen, and now MOA trying to turn around with a power throw coming in. Fade's very low. Burning Shadows does go out though, and Ophelia not able to get in range for a judgment. And Riser, you didn't know Lord South Force was this good, man? Especially against an Amphora. I would say that he's probably, like, against Amphora, it's just like actually an auto win your lane. Like, she's just such a bad laning support, and everything that she provides is ineffectual against Lord South Force. As Fade is going to come in, there's Dampier with the flight as well, but no Terrorize. South Force will turn around and kill Fade if he wants to, but not going to happen. She does have the Haste Rune, and so he consumes his second to last Blightstone. Going to head back into lane and look to kill one of these two.
I mean, I think a lot of it's just how much regen he was actually pooled. It's kind of absurd. And that really allowed him to just sit there and tank Nymph early on. Now he's got his levels up, and yeah, I mean, they can't really do anything. He's same level as Dampier right now. He's got 200 GPM. Dampier's like 27 CS is good, but it's not really ideal at all when you're free farming Dampier. So Kezu's done a great job of just sitting up here, just being annoying, really annoying. See it right now. Foregoing the creep wave, basically, just to annoy the crap out of Yolam.
Yep, and
yeah, there's not much Nymph can do. I really agree with Nymph just going and pulling because he simply can't do anything.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder for Dampier, but, I mean, he's got no reach on left either. I think they've actually lost this bottom lane to the point that they might need to, like, bring Keeper of the Forest in here or something. But speaking of Keeper, he's in trouble up top. Here comes the dreaded Tornado of Doom. Catman Champion gonna get the slow, and here's the root onto Ophelia. He's trying to get to the trees to invis, and he will, but Dust goes off, and they're not gonna have the chase to actually kill him. So good decision coming out of no shit right there. Goes the correct way and does survive.
Well, it's unfortunate they don't get the Bloodlust, but they can turn this into a tower kill pretty easily, especially with root down. They don't have to be worried about like a root mass TP or setting up at all. So yeah, this tower will go down pretty free as a result of that, even with the missing kill. It's not the end of the world. They got root. Hackstone will pick up the last hit as well. And it's just that, bottom lane.
Yeah.
Kezu might actually die.
He could actually die indeed, and he will go down. So that's the power of Dampier once he gets his full combo off. He does a lot of burst damage, and unfortunately for Kezu, he didn't upgrade his boots. I really think that he should have had upgraded boots. He had 1,400 gold on death right there. With either Steam Boots or Ghost Marches, he would have survived that encounter. So just kind of a situation of not wanting to leave the creep line, and he pays for it with that death.
I mean, he should get Steam Boots this game. They're all about just tanking up, so... Oh, Luna could be in trouble here. There's 3 heroes. Missed turret, but doesn't really matter. Here comes Kezu. That scary Lord South Force. Here he goes.
Oh, yeah. He's coming in right here. Dampier is going to be there with full mana. There's 5 players here from the Legion team. So South Force is going to be taking a lot of damage. Engineer is the first one to go down, but South Force is like, I do not care. Life Tap does manage to bring down Fade, and now going to be looking for more. Nice Zeal Stun. That's going to go ahead and make sure that Dampier will be just fine.
Yeah, that was an awkward fight from TKAG. I think the keg whiffed down there, and then he died. That did newts. I don't know if he was going to die, but he did. Actually, this is a nice little call from tmsR to just simply take all his stacks. It's a big part of playing against Dampier is once he gets rolling. Oh, here we go.
They're going to go. There's the flight, and the Zeal Stun will connect as well. Keg is there. Pushes it in the wrong direction, but the slow and the autos are going to be enough. So another kill here onto Kezu. And I talked about it. This hero's strength is right here when he's a little bit over leveled with compared to everybody else. Level 6, level 7. And so far they're handling him pretty well as Fade is in terrible position. And, well, going to survive, I guess. Interesting.
Yeah, they're going to take the DD. But another strategy really dealing with Dampier is basically you can kind of time when he's going to leave the lane and go jungle with all the stacks. There's really not that many stacks this game. I don't think they're doing a great job. Nymph is just trying to get farm if she can. She actually has really good level. She's level 6. I'm a little surprised she actually leveled that well. Did a good job pulling, but one strategy is basically just to go in his lane with all your heroes and take a fight while he's not powerful, or just take all of the jungle that is stacked, and it really nerfs him. So TMS are kind of doing that there. Kezu taking some more harass bottom. But wow, Nymph is already level 6. This is bad. They could set up a kill on Haxman pretty easily right now. They're actually just going to do it with 2.
Oh,
here they go.
He's going to spot this one out, though. So Dampier is... Oh, that's going to get... I don't know what just happened there. Dampier turned around and just kind of killed Kezu. And Soul Reaper up top in some trouble here. Auto attacks are going in, trying to finish off Engineer. There's pretty much no chance of him getting out of there. Dust gives the vision, and the final auto attacks do take him down. So, good kills, and maybe going to set up a push, but Soul Reaper's pretty out of health and mana. Kezu, unfortunately, kind of overestimating his hero at this point. And
well, I think, yeah, he's gotten a little cocky. He was crushing the lane so hard, I feel like he didn't think he was going to die, and then I think he's, yeah, like you said, basically that's it, overestimating how much damage he can do. So actually TKAG, while I felt like tmsR was winning every lane really hard, they're actually starting to do pretty well here. It's unfortunate that the gank didn't happen top. They would have killed Soul Reaper with an FTP, but, oh, middle lane, tmsR kind of stutter stepping there. Could have maybe gone for a kill on Fade, but that won't happen. But yeah, it's unfortunate for Engineer because they kind of canceled the port. But they got a kill out of it instead, so it worked out for them. But yeah, you see Nymph now finally going to go stack. It's very important. I think Engineer should be also stacking a lot as well. I think he, yeah, successfully, he's actually stacked the Ancient 3 times. Okay, so I can't really hate on him too much. That's a big deal. So yeah, they're doing an okay job stacking, and they kind of recovered in this bottom lane after what it looked like Kezu was just putting on a clinic. But Dampier is starting to get pretty farmed, and this could be the moment. I think oh wow, if he gets level 8, holy shit, I was gonna say Ophelia should get level 7 and push, but he's actually already level 8. Working towards the Astrolabe as well. I'm not gonna be up for a bit here. 10-minute Astrolabe is kind of ridiculous, you can't really ask that, but they are gonna start pushing mid. MOA and Illumina clean up the creep wave, and here comes Tank Effect, and the push is on. Lord Stuff Forest is also here. And yeah, this is when TKAG even needs to decide to fight, which they don't have root for 3 seconds, which is unfortunate. So they can't really do it right now, or they need to counter push. But they're gonna fight.
They're gonna fight. Yeah, this is gonna be 5 players coming in right here, and Fade gonna look for a Burning Shadows, but just red boots not gonna happen at least yet. Power throw goes out. There's the Undying onto Dampier. He gets the Terrorize onto 2. Keg Root coming in onto 2 as well. Ophelia gonna get the ultimate off just before she dies. But down Forest with a big mana battery is going hard right here. Engineer gonna get taken out quite quickly, and now Kezu gonna get exploded by Dampier, but he goes down. Maybe not. Nice Burning Shadows from Fade covering this teammate. And that's going to put a stop to this push and pick up a couple kills right there. Deny on the tower. Best case scenario coming out here for TKAG. I think that was really well played.
1 for 1, but honestly, when you take a team fight that's close this early versus lineup, you pretty much won the fight. Even if the numbers don't really say it. So, yeah, you could see how the ult kind of actually shut down Dampier. He pretty much had to kite around until it was over. So, that was what tmsR had going for them. But, man, it was a really big root. The turret was barely off, so Ophelia lived and got ult off, which was unfortunate, but I think TKAG won that fight pretty handily considering the lineup they're going up against. And Dampier continuing to farm. He's going to take out these stacks here. I'd like to see them go to the Ancients probably now, unless they can find a kill with Nymph TP, which I don't know. They could kill Kezu. They know he's here.
They certainly could.
They have a ward. I think they can kill him.
He hasn't.
Off, though.
He hasn't purchased any additional items either. I mean, doesn't have Mystic
he needs
Vestments.
Yeah, really bad.
That's
should be the next item for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about here. And so far, all that pulled regen onto Kezu, and he's actually under-leveled as compared to the Nymph. Like, he played really well in his lane and then just got really, really cocky and is now paying the price. His team is paying the price for it. Because if this hero is not over-leveled, if he's not snowballing, he's not doing much.
Well, he's basically just walking. He's just gonna ult the Dampier, and that's since he's not doing much anymore. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Unless he's really farmed in a team fight, it's hard for him to really get in and not just die to like AOE. And as a result, I mean, he's still pretty tanky. His treads and vestments, and they have Ophelia and Boy and Soul Reaper, so he can, you know, sustain standing in the front for a little bit. But oh, could be another fight here. Moon's got a pretty solid ward, but here we go.
It certainly could. Ward gonna get countered here. Fade is in the vicinity as well. And there's the Burning Shadows opener on a Master of Arms. And boy, will go down. Luna in the front lines as well. She's going to have to fall back here. Keeper of the Forest does have the root available, but not able to get into range. So a nice pick there onto Slicks, and drops him down from where he was at about 290 gold per minute, and that's not a support MOA either. That's very much so a MOA that was grabbing some of the farm. So a good kill. And
no, I think middle lane went pretty well for the Legion team. We were kind of watching bottom, at least I was.
Yeah.
Most of the game, but the CS score is pretty even. Honestly, a MOA should be way higher than a Fade, especially just being able to kill Ancients and stuff. But yeah, Slicks doesn't really have that great of a start, to be honest. I don't really know why they were down there as 3 heroes when they didn't counter the lane ward, and Ophelia was not even nearby at all. They're kind of just asking for it, so TKAG punished them quite well. And man, I'm still reeling over this Nymph. He's level 8. He's actually owning really hard, and they have a level 11 Dampier. And because tmsR hasn't really been winning team fights or grouping up and taking towers, it's like this Nymph actually does become kind of dangerous. In a perfect world, I really don't think it should have, but just some misplays from tmsR has allowed TKAG to have a pretty strong hold over this game.
Yeah, they're certainly looking good right now, and once again, a best-of-2 format as opposed to a best-of-3 format means this is the last game either way, and so tmsR can go from being in a very good position to probably not the best position if they lose right here. Because, at least in this group, I mean, you definitely want to be making your way out on the top of the group. And a loss to a team like TKAG, I would expect tmsR to 2-0 TKAG. I would expect tmsR to 2-0 Absolute Legends. And at the same time, I would expect IG to do the same if they lose right here. I mean, that's a very real chance that IG could be taking a lead just because of that one loss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to end up number 2 because you're going to be going up against a number 2, which is going to be a pretty solid team, maybe like Excellent or something.
Excellent or Justice League, right? Yeah.
Excellent or Justice League, yeah. I mean, you ideally want to be number 1 so you can play the number 3. I mean, it's kind of basic, but I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, I'm kind of just being redundant here, but yeah, I know what you mean though. Like, you don't want to play Excellent when you could play, the number 3. Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's not as important, I would say, in this group to take number 1 as it is in Group A. For Lions, I would say that a deathmatch against either TKAG or Absolute Legends is probably a free trip to DreamHack. Here, if you're going to be playing either the 2 or the 3, I would say Justice League and Team Excellent are for the most part on the same level. Justice League has been looking a little bit better most recently, partially because of the drop here on Brodex Level 5. I don't know, maybe the player's lacking some commitment or whatnot, but an early departure in last week's Sound Blaster Heroes League group stages has left everybody kind of saying, what's going on with Pew and his crew?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were kind of talking about this earlier, and I don't know. It's kind of a weird change. I think when you were break, you were talking about maybe there's some kind of internal thing that we're not aware of. I've talked to Pew a little, but nothing too significant. And yeah, I honestly think it was a step down, to be honest.
Well, in any case, we're sitting here in a pause. This is our 4th pause so far in the 14-minute game, so the team's definitely taking their time to get everything sorted out, and of course want to make sure that they do. As far as our casting coverage throughout the day, as soon as we finish up with this match, we will be moving into Absolute Legends versus Too Much Sugar. So a couple fan favorites squaring off right there. AAL and the boys playing their first match since the DreamHack Summer qualifiers. So about 5 months ago now. We're going to have to see how they stack up and how they've been keeping up with their MOBA skills. Of course, did make their way over to Dota 2 briefly, but since then have taken a step back from gaming in general to focus on studies and whatnot. And we didn't really get a good feel of where they are in the single elimination stage of this tournament either. They ended up only having to play 1 match, made the rest of them here on forfeits.
Really? Wow, I didn't know that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are some people that can come back and play Han after a large break and do well, but that's probably a pretty small majority. We'll have to see.
Shu?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So
could Shu do it, Riser?
No, when he came back, he sucked.
That's true. Uh-oh, we're about to get a lot of fanboy hate.
Probably.
It's rough. Team Easy. It's kind of crazy to me that was only 2 years ago. I feel like that was...
Was it really?
Yeah, I feel like that was like 5 years ago, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Time is really long in the Han world.
Yeah, that is odd.
And looks like we are going to be good to go here momentarily.
When was Han Tour Grand Finals?
Han Tour Grand Finals was April 18th of this year. So 6 months ago to the day, pretty much.
Wow, 6 months. I'm trying to decide if that sounds like a long...
It sounds about right to me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Han Tour Grand Finals was a good time. I miss being able to come into the hotel room and see Riser's happy, smiling face on the bed.
On the bed? What was I, molded into it or something?
I don't remember. It was a good time, that's all I recall, but hopefully be getting this one started here relatively soon. Dampier is reconnecting, and speaking of Dampier, I mean, the Grimoire Power going to be finished up here pretty quick on Damp.
Yeah, I think tmsR still has a pretty good chance just because Haxorn is farming well, and I mean, they're more likely to just outplay them and the game end in that fashion. So, you know, it is scary, but they are kind of I'd say the better team, so they still have a pretty good shot. Hax, yeah, 3-0 actually with 440 DPM, so kind of been quiet, but that's kind of how Haxorn is sometimes. Sometimes he's just kind of quiet, but just like he's owning, but no one really notices. It's weird. So I think I think when I was watching Melon's cast, he said something similar. Like he's always really solid. He may not make like the biggest plays. I mean, he certainly has the capability to. Playing with him, I would know, but he just kind of, you know, he usually just doesn't have a bad game. He usually performs really well.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because it seems like he doesn't get the spotlight until he makes a bad play, which is pretty rare. But then that's the only time that, like, at least viewers bring him up, and even sometimes this is co-casters. When you're just sitting there playing a good game every time, but you're not making huge plays, you're not making the flashiest kills, it's sometimes easy to really ignore what you're doing. But speaking of the guy, Grimoire Power on Haxorn can be finished up here soon, as well as he and Dampier are pretty much on par with one another.
They are. Dampier should overtake him. They're actually going to take out these triple stack Ancients with the other 3 heroes, but yeah, as long as they keep stacking, Dampier should easily start crushing him, especially because Ophelia is still kind of farming the jungle a little. But I would expect tmsR to make a play here pretty soon. Dampier still doesn't have a Shrunken, he doesn't have Grimoire, even Portal Key, so I mean, they still have a pretty big opening to go take a fight. As long as they have, you know, all their heroes there. We saw bottom lane, there was only 3 of them, and I mean, obviously it didn't work out. So I still think they have a good shot. I mean, they're versus Nymph, keep that in mind. So yeah, look at top lane. Oh, that's not a good port.
Yeah, rough port indeed. And Dampier going to take the Demonic Execution. We'll turn it around with the Terrorize, Consume, and the Flight coming in. But Ophelia Ultimate is there. They finish on him and they should grab Keeper of the Forest as well. Engineer is going to get the nice turret and a beautiful keg. And maybe this is going to be the turnaround now. Energy Field going to be dropped as well. But Dampier going on to Ophelia. Here comes Fade. Going to go for the Burning Shadows into the Reflection right there. And does take down Ophelia. But now Fade in trouble at the hands of the Ophelia minions. Fade going to get taken out. And so that kind of illustrates why it is so difficult to take a fight against this tmsR team in the early game.
It is. I mean, you know, I was kind of saying they are up against the Nymph and they could find solo kills with it, but keep in mind they do have the MOA Ophelia, especially going for a Soul Reaper who's already really tanky. I mean, he's not really tanky, but he's probably the tankiest hero on the team, maybe except for South Forest. But oh, they are going to try and defend this. Yeah, that was just a bad MTP. Should have gone into the trees. I think that's mostly what that fight came down to, and it was well played by tmsR because I think they kind of anticipated that, and Tankafet was simply sitting behind Hax in case it happened. But still, I think they gave tmsR a little too much notice with, you know, being in vision with the port. If they got into the trees or something, I think it would have worked out a little better. But still, yeah, well played by Tankafet there, just kind of supporting his teammate.
Yep, doing a very good job, and that's something that tmsR generally does quite well, is their team coordination. These guys seem to be more active than I would say just about any team out there in terms of scrims and whatnot, and they take this on very, very seriously. So it kind of shows when they do get into those team fights. Perfect coordination coming out, at least in that case right there. And they're keeping themselves in this game. I wouldn't say that they're in an advantage right now, but they're setting themselves up to where they could take an advantage in the next team fighter push.
I think they're at a bit of an advantage after that team fight.
Yeah, tiny one.
Getting the tower. I mean, they're not like rolling by any means, but I think that team fight opened up a lot of options for them. I think Kongor is actually pretty free.
Okay.
As long as they have counter vision and good wards. And yeah, I honestly think that was a pretty big fight. But yeah, Grimoire is finished on Dampier. And yeah, this is kind of the stage where, I mean, people talk about it. Sometimes if Dampier doesn't have like 8 million GPM, like he does need a couple more items to start participating fully. And yeah, he still only has just the Grimoire right now. So I think they could take advantage of that. I think Kongor would be pretty free. They're kind of walking over towards there. Or maybe they just want to push mid. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good time to fight for tmsR.
Yeah, I agree with you that any team fights they take right now would probably be in their favor. All things considered, though, I think TKAG by no means out of this one just yet. Dampier going to go ahead and clean up some triple stacked Ancients, and just like in last game, the Ancients seem to be triple stacked pretty much the entire time, Riser. So really good job from the supports coming out from TCAT, making sure to resource manage themselves properly, and now Kongor, he's going to be going down here in favor of tmsR.
Yeah, they killed this really quick, actually. They did a ton of damage. So, actually, Lordsaw Force, interesting enough, go for Mighty Blade, so maybe Shrunken first. I mean, the pub style is probably like Dawnbringer, so you can just run around and own people, but probably not going to be seeing that this game. So, free Kong, and yeah, Concord opens up a lot for this team. It's very difficult to take a team fight against a token Soul Reaper with all the backup he has in terms of, you know, the mech, the Ophelia heal, and what else is it? Oh, Master of Arms ult. Yeah, that's the one I was forgetting, so... Jolem is down here on Dampier, but the rest of his team is not really close by. And you know, keep in mind they don't have a whole lot of initiation on the Hellborn team. That's not really what their strategy revolves around. Just killing towers and supporting each other. So he can play a little more aggressive like this. I mean, he's not really accomplishing much. He could be farming somewhere else, but you know, he doesn't have to be too scared. They're doing a good job pushing mid. Keeper's pushing top, but I mean, it's not very quick. If you look at Fade Inji, he's not the best pushing hero. Keeper's actually going to port out. So they want to defend this, which is a little questionable, I think.
And
even though Keeper is
in some massive trouble. Demonic Execution, that was a really awkward port coming in from no shit. And honestly, I think a mistake of experience. He's not been playing with this team too much, I believe. And yeah, just making a little bit of mistakes. Even made the comment earlier on, I'm new, I need instructions or whatnot, but in any case, Dead Keeper of the Forest is going to give a lot of time now for the defensive tower to take some damage. And Dampier does have a portal key, but he doesn't want to have to use it right now. Wants to wait until Keeper of the Forest is up, but they will lose the defensive tower by then. And this is actually a massive advantage that tmsR is going to take. Dampier going to get the Terrorizing Flight onto 2 right here, but there's the Undying going on to Dampier. Dampier is dead, no buyback available. Energy Field going out. Engineer is going to die. Energy Field killed, and I think that might actually do it right here.
Yeah, the pub chain was just too strong. I mean, Keeper fucked up pretty hard, and I don't know. I think they could have just waited for him. Like, now they lose the racks instead of maybe losing the racks and guaranteed losing the tower. And 6 is going in right now. I'm thinking about it. Trying to get this done, but yeah, nothing else really coming. And yeah, I think tmsR, that team fight top and then taking Kong, they did exactly what they needed to do. And even TKAG looking pretty good for most of the game. Just, I mean, the strategy from tmsR and the team fight execution just a little too strong, I think.
Yep, working out well. I think subtext for this team could be too much sugar, staying alive and killing everything. Pretty much just kind of don't die. And, well, right now they're going to continue not dying in the middle lane. Keeper of the Forest is trying to get in there for a root, but tmsR are going to go ahead and back up. So this game, not over just yet, but tmsR, they're starting to take a victory lap right here. Aluna's going to be in a lot of trouble. She is going to get taken out rather quickly. But now Nymphora on the wrong side of things. Going to get taken out herself. Cat going to connect after a nice root. Lordsaw Forest might go down right here. Gets the life tent off, but does go down. Down goes both Keeper of the Forest and Fade. And TKAG are very much so struggling to find any kills. Gonna even lose here.
Yeah, they can't really take a fight versus... I mean, Token's not even coming into play. It's just they can't really take a fight right now. I think a lot of it just came down to the poor execution top when they tried to gank Soul Reaper with that port, and things just snowballed from there. Keeper dying bottom, just some misplays, honestly. I don't think tmsR actually played that good. I think TK kind of beat themselves up this game, but Yeah, especially with Kezu bottom lane crushing and then unfortunately kind of feeding them back into it. But yeah, it's just a little inexperience like you were talking about, showing from TK.
Yeah, in any case, I mean, they've put up a good fight right here, and they're definitely not out of the group stages. An 0-2 loss right here is a big setback, but if they can win a match maybe against Absolute Legends, as Dampier is going to go in right here. Untying applied, though, and Dampier going to get taken out rather quickly. A lot of stuns going out onto the Hellborn team, but going to be a sheep onto Engineer. Is that what I just saw? Yep, yeah. Sheep onto Soul Ripper. And GG well playeds are coming out. So that's going to do it here, Riser. tmsR are going to go ahead and advance from their first match with a 2-0 advantage, and I'm sure that's exactly what they were looking to do. Open it up strong.
Yeah, for sure. I actually like tmsR's draft. I really like the Lord South Forest pick. It showed how powerful it can be, especially against a Dampier. Especially Dampier and Nymph. You were talking about how weak Nymph was in the lane and allowed Kezu to get a ton of experience bottom, and all he has to do is click his ult on Dampier in the team fight, and suddenly he's a much worse hero. But yeah, well played by tmsR, and yeah, TKAG looked decent. I mean, they had some pretty big throws, but I honestly think they did fine.